Let's do it. Hi guys, I've quickly sneaked on for a 20-minute go on the keto channel. On my dog walk, I decided I was going to watch a Ginger Alden interview. I'm still fascinated by Ginger Alden because I'm always amazed on two things. I'm always amazed by the support she gets. I'm also always amazed by the backlash. I'm just trying to find the video. I don't think that's it. Let's have a look a minute. Let's it's all rubbish coming up. Right, let's go to YouTube. Let's go to my history, see if it comes up. History. I've been watching a bit of Elvis Fans Matter as well, which is really good. Were Billy and Joe at the 68 comeback special, which I thought was pretty good actually. Right, so there's a couple of things. I wanted to introduce the interview, and I may carry on with the Billy and Joe. So if you look here, let's just see if you can see it in the screen. No, right, let's get it. Let's get the right thing on the screen. Two things I've been watching. The EFM Elvis Fans Matter thing that has just been released, and the Ginger Alden interview, which is quite an old interview. That is Elvis the Ultimate Channel. I think, is it Steve? Let's have a look. Let's have a look, guys. So let's do a bit of both. I want to introduce the Ginger Alden one, and I want to review and just chat about the one with Billy and Joe. So let's press play. Hopefully you guys are getting me okay. Let's get it up.
About Graceland.
So here we go.
Special.
Right. Let me just get my earphones on. So obviously I'm a fan of EFM. I'm a fan of MMK as well. No matter what I say about my opinions concerning all of the Smiths, I still fully support them and think they're great and they're important. Very, very important, in fact. Right, let's go.
Any memories of, it's this when Elvis did the NBC Singer Special in '68. Would that not have been the comeback special in '68?
Yeah, that'd be the 60.
That was CBS, wasn't it, instead of NBC?
I don't know. We didn't, half the time I didn't know which city I was in or where anything was or who sponsored what. All we knew was Elvis.
I wasn't with him
on the '68
Here
special.
in the '68, okay.
I had Danny and Joey. Well, Danny, he was going to school. Joey was in kindergarten.
And your daddy was sick.
And my daddy was sick, so I had to.
We stayed back.
Stay back,
Okay.
here.
Well, let's see. Ashley Turner, she runs some of the Elvis Facebook pages. She has groups on there. So I want to say hello to Ashley and her son Matthew.
Hey.
Matthew.
Matthew just finished 8th grade.
Oh, Lainey just finished 7th grade.
Yep.
So.
And her question is, what was Elvis's favorite thing about Graceland?
Oh, that's a great question. Can we guess? The horses. Riding around on the horses. Going to the gates, greeting the fans. Ooh, what do you reckon, guys? I can't guess that one. Let's see what he says.
Did he ever say what he liked the best about Graceland?
He liked that. He just loved Graceland. I think his favorite thing was that he owned it.
Yeah.
Do you think that... Go ahead, because I think it's going to be the same thing that I asked, but go ahead.
No, go ahead and ask.
Do you think that he loved so much of it because his mama lived there?
Yeah.
Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah.
There we are. So his favourite thing, Elvis's favourite thing, that he owned it. Of course, it just was, the glove fit, didn't it? When he finally found Graceland, the glove fitted in many ways. Even obviously Gladys and Vernon loved it as well, and he just loved owning it. It could have been called Elvis, couldn't it? It really, the word Graceland, for some reason, that word. I know there's a history behind that, isn't there, with the previous owners? But that word just works. The word Elvis Presley, those two words, and the words Graceland, even Gladys, it just all gels, I think.
That was my question, was maybe because his mama had gotten the chance to live there.
Well,
and
he felt close
bought
to
it
her.
for
Yeah, so he had a very, very sentimental thing about Gladys, and of course, Same goes for the pink Cadillac. You know, he was never ever gonna let that out of his sight. He was always gonna own that first car that he bought for Gladys, even though she couldn't drive. And we just recently played the footage of her eating the snowballs, her and Vernon.
Jim and his mom and daddy.
Good. Have Billy and Joe ever been asked to participate in Elvis Week or the birthday? I'm assuming.
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I mean, Elvis Week, it's just enormous, isn't it? Everyone wants to be at Elvis Week. Everyone. I would love to go. I know our researcher Amy is going. There's a few people that are going very soon. I think Teresa and Tony are going. Is that right? There's a few other people going as well. Carolyn's going soon. I'd love to go.
From Graceland?
I'm assuming that she means like from Graceland.
No.
Because we do have a Q&A during Elvis Week, but that's something that we do independently. It is not affiliated with Graceland or Elvis Presley Enterprise.
We have been asked from other people that, you know, to do things.
Right.
But we started doing our own questions. But as far as Graceland, no.
Right.
Tell you what, I think the fans would love it if Billy and Joe were there. Seriously, they would love it. I'm surprised that Gracelands haven't asked them. I'm surprised Elvis Presley Enterprise haven't asked them because the fans would want it so much.
And I always try to have that in there that ours is independent for Elvis Fans Matter, and Elvis Fans Matter,
Has
and
nothing to
ours
do with-
we're not affiliated with EPE or with Graceland. We're not tied to that in any
Or
way.
anybody else.
Yeah, just us. Nobody else.
Nobody.
All right. Did you guys read Elvis Destined to Die Young by Sally Hodell? And
Now that's interesting, guys. Obviously, we have the book. We've had a few problems with Sally, but you know, I'm going to do what Mindy Miller said: stay neutral, don't point fingers. I think any book that defends Elvis is a great thing. Yeah, anything that shows that Elvis did have health problems, serious medical problems, and truly did need his prescription medication is a good thing. Yeah. I will say this: The Destined to Die Young, I can see it's very catchy, a great way of selling books, a great choice. If you want to make money and sell this book and this book to be remembered, I think it's a really good title, Destined to Die Young. But I don't agree with it. I don't think Elvis was destined to die young. I actually think if Elvis had not have become as famous as he did, I think he'd still be alive. Yeah. Or would have lived much longer. The pressures of fame, guys. Doctors were a bit out of their depth with prescription medication. Did they truly know about the side effects of some of the pills they were giving Elvis? Did Elvis know the damage these pills could do to his body long term? I don't think so. Anyway, let's keep going, guys.
did you guys have any thoughts on that? That Sally has said in the past that she talked to Billy and Joe about it.
Yeah, she had.
I didn't read the whole way through. I don't read a lot of books about Elvis.
I don't think all the illnesses in the family
No.
concerning how, Elvis lived and how he died. I don't
Right.
think that's a thing in the world to do with it.
Now, when it says she talked to Billy and Joe,
So, obviously a lot of research has gone into this book. We also know that Sally Hoddle did go off and to Tupelo meet some of the ancestors on the Smith side, I think. She's spoken with many people. She did use a lot of other people's research. If you look at the back of this book, there are hundreds of notes of other people's research that she used. So I will say that this is very much Sally Hoddle piecing everything together with some of her research. She's not medically trained, and her view, I think the Alpha 1 theory, I don't say is 100% proven. Not enough to completely make me happy. It's a theory. I still think the book does defend. Of course, I'm just trying to find Dr. Forrest Tennant's book. Obviously, Dr. Forrest Tennant's book has different theory, different research, and it does have medical documents. Dr. Forrest Tennant is medically trained. So between the two books, we can sort of just get some sort of idea that Elvis was reliant on prescription medication, did need it, was very unwell, in a lot of pain, couldn't sleep, serious colon problems, and many medical conditions. And it almost impossible for Elvis to get better, I would say. It's just sad, isn't it? Heartbreaking that Elvis suffered so much and couldn't sleep. Could you imagine not being able to sleep and working as hard as Elvis did? So it's very sad. But let's hear. I do think that a lot of, between the two books, there's still quite a lot of theories as well as some proof. Sally Hoddle, her version of events is her version with her research and other people's research. Same goes for Dr. Forrest Tennant. He obviously talks a lot about the head injury when he fell in the bath and the effect that may have had to do with inflammation in his body. So who knows, guys?
Now, she talked to you about her book, but I think that they are saying that maybe she talked to you for information on her book. Did you talk to her while she was gathering her research? Did you guys talk to Sally and give any, like, about the family?
We know Sally, but I don't think so.
I didn't think that you guys got, I'm trying to think of the word, but, like, basically give her any information on the family.
We normally don't, if we know that somebody's doing something like that, or writing a book, or doing an interview or something, we don't normally do anything like that. We don't.
Okay, well that's interesting. I think that is quite an important question. So Danielle, I think, is saying that Sally Hoddle has said that she spoke to the Smiths. So she obviously didn't speak to Billy and Joe. That's interesting. I have heard her in interviews say that she spoke to the Smiths, but not them, not Billy and Joe. I think other relatives on the Smith side. So put me right, guys, because I don't know, because I haven't read this word for word. It's a tough book to read, to be honest with you. I find it a bit very long-winded. I go, oh, sorry, Sally, but I do sort of go, but some parts of the book are interesting. I know, Mary, the young girl that defends Elvis, it's my wife. All right, I'm just live, but I'm finishing in 10 minutes and I'm leaving. All right, I'll wait for you. All right, bye. Sorry, it's my wife. We're going to the beach. I got my trunks on and we're going to the beach. Yeah, that, I don't know, that's unexpected, actually. She's basically saying, no, we didn't speak to Sally, but she's also saying that Sally said she did speak to them. I think Sally did speak to other people. I don't know, actually. Now that that's been said, I'm going to have to double check. I'm going to have to double check on her research and re-look at her interviews, because in Sally Hoddle's interviews, she did say, I'm pretty sure, unless I'm wrong, guys, she did say she spoke to certain people in the Smiths family. I don't remember that it was Billy and Joe. Yeah, that bit, I'm not going to say that was said. Interesting. How are you, Terry? Okay, my friend. I haven't notified anyone that we're live. That's why there's not many people on. This is a quick, unexpected. So let's keep going. Interesting, because I got quite interesting views about Sally Hoddle's book.
We don't give out information because we could do it ourselves.
Right. All right. So they said, is Patsy Presley still alive, to your knowledge? Because they thought that they read somewhere online that Patsy had passed away.
No,
you haven't heard that, right?
No, Patsy, as far as I know, I haven't talked to her in a long time. She lives with her daughter, Dina, after her husband passed away, and her son, Jimmy Gamble, still works at Graceland, as far as I know. Mm-hmm. And Dina works
works.
you work.
Yeah, for the company I'm for. Okay, this is a
I mean, Patsy Presley's lovely. I've seen a few of her interviews. She's great. I really enjoy her.
picture that somebody sent in, and I'll try to put it in the comments when I catch it, but it
Well, that's an interesting picture. I've never seen that picture before.
says, can you tell me if this is Priscilla or Patsy with Elvis in the picture? It's just not very
See, I would say Patsy. What do you think, guys?
clear, and I can't.
No. That's that I don't know where that is. Do you? That's not.
I can zoom.
I can't tell if that's Elvis.
I can zoom out, and you can see more of where they're at. I still don't know if you would recognize it.
It doesn't
I agree. It might not definitely be Elvis. I agree.
look like Patsy's frame.
There it is. You can kind of see it kind of went out.
I don't recognize the place. Do you?
Not at all. No.
You know what that kind of looks like? Kind of looks like the ranch house in a way, but that's too young for
No,
that.
that's not the ranch.
That's a carport right there.
Mhm. I have no earthly idea who it is or where that picture was taken.
Is that? Let me see if it's. I can't tell if that's Elvis. Can you?
I reckon that might not be Elvis. I don't recognise either of them.
Not good.
No. It's not Patsy, and it's not. It's not. I don't think it's not Priscilla. I don't think, because that's too young. If that is Elvis.
Oh, to have been on the ranch, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It doesn't look like either of them.
Couldn't tell you. I have
I
no
have
idea.
no idea.
All right. Well, I told her I would ask anyway. Okay, what grades in school were Billy and Joe when they met and started dating?
Ninth. I was in junior high school. I mean, I was a freshman.
Ninth grade.
Yeah, ninth grade.
Okay. All right. Did Billy and
And I
Joe?
was just fresh.
You were fresh. I got
You
you.
sure were.
Okay, well, thank you to Elvis Fans Matter. Really enjoyed that. The little surprise for me was that they brought up Sally's book, and that's interesting. Sally Hoddle, if you're watching this show, did you speak to Billy and Joe? Have you ever said you spoke to Billy and Joe? I do remember you said you went to Tupelo and spoke to some relatives on the Smith side. I've never heard you. I don't think I've heard you say you spoke to Billy and Joe. I'm going to have to double check now with the interviews. Right. So just a quickie. I want to introduce this interview. I listened to all of it. It's quite long. It's Ginger Alden. Guys, I am a fan of Ginger Alden. I'm also a fan
I saw
of...
that the other day.
hang on, let me just get this to the
Kennedy
beginning.
Veterans Hospital when Elvis
1 second, guys.
Agreed to speak with me today.
was
1
in
second.
Ireland this time.
So I'm also a fan of Elvis, the Ultimate Fan channel, Stephen. He's been around for many years. I will say this about Steve. He's done a lot of great interviews. I mean, I've listened to quite a few of Steve's interviews. They're bloody well done. He's really good at asking the best questions. I think he does a lot of puts a lot of time and preparation into doing his interviews, because every question he asks, it doesn't matter who it is, could be Mike Stone. There's just so many that he's done. He really does ask the best questions. I'm very impressed with Steve. Very impressed with him. He has joined my channel a few times in the comments on my YouTube section. I've seen him have a few little discussions with some of the subscribers and people that join my channel. He's never actually given me a shout out. I hope one day he will. But anyway, let's have a little. What I'm introducing this interview. I don't have enough time to go through it. We're going to have to do this in a few stages. So Ginger, I will say this: I love Ginger Alden. I love it. I'm always amazed the backlash she gets. She really gets a tough time, Ginger Alden. I'm a big fan. I'm quite aware of everything you're about to message me in the comments. I've heard it all 1,000 times. A lot of it, I think, is Chinese whispers being repeated again and again, exaggerated and twisted. But I am aware of the law, you know, the lawsuit with Humbum, and many other things that you guys always say about Ginger Alden. And I'm not going to take sides. Remember, I don't want to point fingers anymore. I'm trying to defend in an understanding way now. So I'm not going to take sides. I'm just going to go, let's hear it. Let's hear it. But this is a very, very good interview. You really have to listen to it from beginning to end to know just how good this interview is. I would say this is one of the best Ginger Alden interviews I have ever heard. Let's go. We're only going to listen to 5 minutes of it, guys. Then I got to go because we're going to the beach because it's too sunny in the UK.
It rains a lot. It rains a lot.
Okay.
So,
That's
but
why it's so pretty and green.
yeah, exactly. Don't let that put you off not coming, though. You know, you'll be very welcome when you come over. Right. So, some of our listeners might think that your family's involvement with Elvis was just the 9 months that you were with him from November '76 to August '77. But your connection, your family's connection with Elvis, goes back as far as what, 1958? Would that be correct?
So this is a very interesting story. Remember, I have listened to this. You're going to be surprised with this, guys.
Yes. Yes, my father was a sergeant in the Army, and he worked with the draft board, and he was also involved in public relations for the Army. And he was at Kennedy Veterans Hospital when Elvis was inducted.
Okay, and that would have been what, March 1958?
1958.
So, and your father just kind of welcomed him. Well, he probably welcomed all the recruits that day, not just Elvis.
Yes. Yes, he was able to speak with a lot of the new recruits, and there was a photo taken of Elvis with my father, and I love to look at it. It's like, wow, you know, what are the odds of that years earlier? And it was funny, after my father was speaking, Elvis asked him about getting change because he wanted to use a payphone, and my father reached in his pocket and handed Elvis a dime, and then my father, I guess that same day, he was able to get 2 photos signed by Elvis for one of my sisters and for my brother. And he also wrote inside my sister's autograph book, "Today I shook the hand of Elvis Presley."
Brilliant story. Brilliant story. Could you imagine that? He gave Elvis a dime. Who'd have thought decades later Elvis would date and get engaged to Ginger Alden, and that she'd be his last girlfriend. They do meet again as well. He'll mention now, I think, briefly. But I just wanted to quickly say 2 things. So yes, I think Deborah said she was going to check them out. They are called Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel. Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel. They're a really, really good channel. I can't fault that channel. It's brilliant. He does quizzes and phone-ins and loads of stuff. This man knows what he's doing. Yeah. So obviously a great Elvis fan as well. So I wanted to say to Elizabeth, thank you for the book. Elizabeth has sent me a birthday gift. A beautiful book straight from Graceland. Iconic Elvises from the Graceland archives. Iconic stage wear of Elvis Presley. Yep. So this is a lovely book. A lovely book. I will treasure this. And it's straight from Graceland. It's got the Graceland stamp of approval. So the real deal. Thank you. I will treasure this. Elizabeth, thank you very much. And of course, it goes into I'm very fortunate to have an amazing collection of things. So yes, Debbie, definitely tune in to Elvis, the Ultimate Fan Channel tonight. We're only playing a clip of this interview. We're going to play the rest of it tomorrow or later.
So that was a cool story. I remember him telling us that, and my father, he would stop by Graceland on different occasions, hoping for some public relations tidbits. This was after Elvis was out of the Army.
Yes.
And just for some little follow-up stories, and he saw Elvis in his driveway talking to a young man one day who had been in a motorcycle accident earlier.
Yes.
And Elvis noticed my father. He had remembered him from earlier when he was inducted, and he asked the guard to let him in. And so my father was able to get some little public relations tidbit stories that particular day. So that was neat.
And then the first time you actually met Elvis, you were probably too young to remember too much about it because you
Oh, that's a coincidence, guys. That looks like the same clothing, that, except take away the waistcoat and the tie, that he was wearing in the picture when he was stood outside that White House that Billy and Joe were just talking about. Yeah? Do we agree? That is similar. It was a white suit like that and black trousers. Do any of you agree with that, guys? Seriously? Yeah, Vincenzo, get Steve to give us a shout out.
were only 5 years old.
Right, right. Yes, on my father's visits, when he would go to get little public relation tidbits, little Elvis pieces, he became friendly with the guard at the gate. It was Elvis's uncle, a man named Travis Smith. And Travis Smith later invited my family to join Elvis because Elvis used to take these trips to the fairgrounds and keep the fairgrounds open at night and take a lot of his friends. And so my whole family was invited one evening, and I was 5 when I went that night. And I just remember Elvis, when I saw him, it was amazing. I didn't quite know who he was, but I had my sister had some record sleeves at home, and I remember seeing his picture and thinking he's got to be somebody famous. I remember seeing people shake his hands, and but he was introduced. We got introduced to him that night, and he patted me and my sister Terry on our head.
And that's sort of really all you can remember, because at 5 years of age, it's hard to remember a lot of things.
Yeah. I had to ask my parents or ask my sisters about that night because they remembered it better than I did. But yeah, that is always a nice little added story as well.
Yeah, and then
Right, so a couple of things, because I can't stay, guys. I've got a couple of minutes before my wife turns up, but Tony got me this. Look at this from Tony. She's just turned up here now. But I think, obviously I've had lots of gifts for my birthday, but I think Tony got me this. I think. Tony, did you get me this? This, obviously, you use the ribbon and you can place this around in a room if you're celebrating. Is it called bunting? Is that what it's called? Was it you, Tony, that got me this? But, Guy, you've been so good to me for my birthday. I literally had the best birthday ever. And the fact me and Mindy Miller shared it. The other thing I was going to say to you guys, Billy Stanley spoke to me today. So we're still, I sent a message. I did forward something to Billy Stanley, and he did reply. So I think we're okay, me and Billy. I hope. Okay, let's keep going.
obviously you did your schooling and so forth. What did you do at school?
Well, I loved art, and I always loved singing. I took voice lessons when I was younger, but I really loved art, hoped to be an artist. And when I graduated from school, I went to art school for a year, and my sister Terry was a great pianist. And she had been involved in, we have local pageants here, and she entered what was called the Miss Memphis pageant, and she won that. And then later she won the Miss Tennessee pageant. Mm-hmm. And that was going to go to the Miss America pageant later on. So that was how, that's my little bit on my sister's background, my sister Terry.
So this interview just gets more and more interesting. Hi Vince, hi Richie boy. No, all of this stuff that you guys have got me is going to go into my Elvis room. One day I'm creating an Elvis room there next to me, there in that space. All this stuff will go on shelves and go up on the walls, ceilings. I'm going to have a lovely Elvis room. Just not yet. At the moment, it's Elvis Corner, which drives my wife potty. Obviously, don't forget, Karen also gave me this. This lights up as well. I don't think it's plugged in. No, it's not plugged in. Oh, yes, it is. Ta-da! I love it, guys. Defending Elvis Presley against all the wrongdoings. Thanks for your dedication. Love it. I'm a lucky man. Let's just play a little bit more.
And she
I just want to warn you, my wife's going to turn up, then I'm going to have to go. So it'll be quite sudden. When I do go, it'll be very quick.
Well, she won Miss Memphis in 1976.
Yes, and then she went on to win Miss Tennessee that same year.
Yeah.
Debbie, I'm not sure. I'm just saying it's coincidence that that picture we just saw was very similar to the one that was shown to Billy and Joe. It just was similar, that's all.
And she suggested that you enter the Miss Tennessee pageant. Is that correct?
It was a Tennessee Universe pageant.
Yeah.
Which is funny because the Miss Tennessee pageant goes to the Miss America pageant. The Miss Tennessee Universe goes to the Miss USA pageant. So I didn't win. I was first runner up, but I thought that would have been wild because my sister, if I had won, my sister would have been going to Miss America and I would have been going to Miss USA the same year.
Yeah. And then obviously the call came in from, was it George Klein that Elvis wanted to meet Terry?
Yes. And it was a little awkward. My sister Terry had a boyfriend, and I was seeing someone at the time as well. The three of us happened to be home on November 19th, which was unusual for us to be home that evening. We were usually out socializing or doing something. But George Klein, Elvis's friend George Klein, called our home and said that Elvis was interested in meeting my sister. And when I think back, with my sister, it wasn't that we were thinking, oh, he's going to date her. Nothing wrong with my sister, beautiful lady. But we just thought we were going to finally get to see inside Graceland and take a peek and get to meet Elvis and go home.
Little did she know that this would be a historical meeting and he would like her, not the other two. So it was meant to be, guys.
So we all rushed around and got ready, and we were excited. And we ended up, I wrote about this in a book I wrote back in 2014 titled Elvis and Ginger. And, but it was nerve-wracking, but we went inside Graceland, and the whole evening was magical. And we were eventually taken up. We had to wait on Elvis for a few hours. But we were eventually taken upstairs and into his daughter's bedroom, which I couldn't believe. I didn't even think we'd see upstairs. And he came.
It's a great picture of her, man. See the picture I'm looking at now. I got a feeling this interview is 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, I'm not actually sure. Let me just see if it says. But she's beautiful. She's a really beautiful girl. I completely understand why Elvis was taken by her. Does it say? It doesn't really. 4 years ago. There we go. 4 years ago. She still looks great, but this picture, she looks particularly very beautiful, I think.
Walking in the room, and I always described it, I thought trumpets would sound, and I thought he was gorgeous, and I was very, very shy at the time, and I blurted out, "Hi, Elvis," like I'd known him for a long time.
Yeah, and, it was probably nerves. You just thought, "Oh, hi, Elvis."
oh, sure.
Yeah.
And he was very polite, quite the gentleman. And but as the evening went on, there were little things he did. He was kind of singling me out, and it certainly changed my life after that night.
It bloody did, mate. It sure did. So there were little hints that he liked her, and in a minute you'll hear that the other two go home.
And you stayed longer than Rosemary and Terry, is that correct? Because he took you into his room, and you thought that your sisters were still around, but you were told later that they'd been taken home.
Oh yes, I thought they were still there, so I was really a little scared about when he said they'd been sent home. I was, I'm here by myself. But as I said, he was quite the gentleman, and what fascinated me that evening.
Of course, it was Elvis.
We read all night long, or he read, I should say. He handed a book to me and had me read, but he was into Eastern philosophy. He had a lot of books that he kept by his bedside, and it was fascinating. I thought it was pretty cool. I said, here I am with this rock and roll superstar, and he wants to read.
Yeah, so, it definitely wasn't what most people would think would happen between a rock star and a young lady. That's for sure.
Exactly. So I think you guys are talking about Steve's show. I do join it sometimes. Sometimes I will pop on there. I I know he watches us because I see his comments sometimes. No, I think the last time he commented was the Lucy, the Desiree topic. I think it was concerning the book Are You Lonesome Tonight? I think there was something happening there, and I'm pretty sure that was when he was commenting. I'm pretty sure he does not believe that book. He does not. I don't really want to talk about that book. It's not a book that I really choose to read at the moment. I won't say I'll never read it. I've been given permission to read it by the author, but I did read about 7 chapters of it. It's quite an interesting read. We were getting quite a backlash, so I thought I don't really want to read this anymore. It was upsetting too many people. So I think people can choose to believe with the whole Lucy, Desiree, all that stuff. I think it's up to people to decide for themselves what they think, if they believe it or not, innit?
What happened after that first night, that November 19th?
I went back to see him the next night. He asked for me the next night, and we took a quick trip to Las Vegas, which I wrote about in my book. And I was really scared. I'd never been out west before, so it was kind of a interesting trip for me. But as I said, once again, he was a complete gentleman. And then after that, about a week later, he called for me to join him on tour, and I flew into San Francisco. And from then on, we began seeing each other. And I saw every one of his shows, but about 4 shows. So I was at all of his concerts.
The excitement of seeing Elvis sort of, that close, because you used to be sort of just off to the stage where Felton and the sound engineers were, I think, weren't you?
Right, Bruce Jackson.
Bruce Jackson.
Yes, he wanted me right behind them. And there was usually a chair put up on the stage for me. And that.
Right, okay. Right, there we are. Larry's just confirmed something. So obviously Larry must have watched the Billy and Joe show. The family was very close with EP. It was Eddie Fadal and his daughter Janice Fadal. So it was Eddie and his daughter Janice Fadal. The family was very close to EP. The photo on Billy and Joe's channel was EP and Janice Fadal in Waco, Texas. There we are. There's our answer. So it was Elvis with Janice Fadal. Brilliant. Thank you, Larry. You were my encyclopedia.
That's where I sat for usually most of the shows. Every once in a while, it could have been a little different somewhere, but that's where I was for most of the shows.
So, Larry, have you put it on Billy and Joe's comments? Because they're going to need to know, aren't they? Because they were very unsure.
And in one of the shows, I believe, one of the first shows that you saw, I think, was in Birmingham in December, and he actually dedicated The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face to you. Is that correct?
Yes, that is a beautiful song.
Yeah.
It's amazing when I think back, the power he had in his voice and being so close and watching him on stage. And it was really, really magical. And he gave his all for each and every show. Some weren't up to par as others were, but I thought the majority of them were really, really great.
Well, when he wasn't feeling ill, when he was feeling ill or tired, he still gave it his all. You could tell he was giving it his all, even when he wasn't, the best. I mean, everybody gets tired and everybody gets sick, but most of the time, you wouldn't have realized with Elvis. He was a consummate professional. That's for sure. This would have been about This would have been about the time of when Elvis, What Happened, the Bodyguard book started. Rumors started going around about that. Did he discuss that with you?
That is a great question. Now, every question Steve asked, I really like. Let's see if we manage to get this in before my wife turns up.
I just remember him in the very beginning on tour mentioning that he had fired some bodyguards. Now, I had no idea who these people were. Had never met them. And he said they had been causing a lot of lawsuits for him.
So don't forget, we have strong views about the book Elvis: What Happened. Red West, Sunny West, Dave Hebler. She just said it. These guys were causing problems, lawsuits. So there was reasons why these people lost their job. It's a long story, guys. We're not going to go into it now, but we do know this book upset Elvis. Yeah, of course it did, and it came out weeks before he died. And the rumor is that Elvis had a transcript of it before it came out. Let's hear what Ginger Alden says, but I've already listened to this. She gives the impression that Elvis was okay about it in the end. He didn't say much about it to Ginger.
So I believe that's why Ed Parker, his karate, Elvis called Ed Parker his high priest in karate, but he had other people helping out. But that was the story I heard in the very beginning, and that's all I knew. I didn't, whenever he mentioned their names, I just didn't know who they were.
But you
I
did
do now, but I didn't at the time.
Yeah. You don't feel that he was preoccupied over the book the whole time you were with him?
No, I never felt that.
That's a good, was Elvis preoccupied by the book Elvis: What Happened? She basically says no. It's a good question as well.
Elvis didn't bring the book up to me. I believe it was in the summer of '77.
Vincenzo, I've never heard Dave Hebler say he regrets the book. Honestly, can you prove that to me? I have never heard Dave Hebler say he regrets the book, ever.
And some people said he saw a manuscript or he was told about the book, but I never...
I've heard Dave Hebler blame the publishers, blame Steve Dunleavy. I've never heard him say regret. I've heard him make loads of excuses. He wanted to help Elvis with his drug problem, even though he never mentions how sick Elvis was, how the fact he needed prescription medication. He was in pain, he couldn't sleep, he had serious stomach problems, glaucoma. I find that Dave Hebler gives the impression that Elvis just liked to get high, liked to get stoned.
I think that's one thing I wanted to clear up, and I was with Elvis pretty much every day, that he wasn't sitting around and depressed and
So this bit's really important to me. There's books out there, there's things out there, you've got Ricky Stanley, Dave Stanley, things they say that give the impression that Elvis was crawled up in a little ball waiting to die, wanted to commit suicide. It's such bullshit. It's such bullshit. I completely disagree with it. I think Elvis was enjoying life in his last few months. And I think we've got proof of it. Just doing things with Lisa, like going to the fair, watching the James Bond movie and other things that Elvis was doing. He went to Ginger Alden's funeral, the parents of her grandfather, her grandfather's funeral. I think Elvis was looking forward to the future, looking forward to his tour. So I love the fact that Ginger Alden says, no, Elvis was okay. He was looking forward to things. He was enjoying life. He was laughing, singing, and having fun right to the end.
Upset. I didn't see this. And
I remember go back a little bit on that.
The book. But I never, I think that's one thing I wanted to clear up, and I was with Elvis pretty much every day, that he wasn't sitting around and depressed and upset. I didn't see this. And I remember, but he was angry about the book, and he was hurt. And he said, after all he'd done for their family, that they would turn and do this.
Yeah.
And I remember him saying to me, this was one night in the summer. I thought he came to a place, this is how I explain it, that he knew his real fans. This is what he told me. He knew his true fans would stand behind him. He said the majority of what the book is saying is not true. And that's what had hurt him. And I've heard some different stories. I haven't read the book. I have no desire to read the book, but I thought I just want to go by the Elvis that I loved and knew. And I don't think it was right at all what was done. But he was looking forward to his next tour. He was ready to get out there, and he said to me a few weeks before he passed away, he'd been off too long. So he was ready to go out, and I knew he had to face some things, but I couldn't tell. He didn't sit around and act really, really down about it.
Okay. There, around about the turn of the year, you lost your grandfather, and
Yes.
and Elvis made sure that you made it for your grandfather's funeral, because the weather was very, very bad around that time, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. It was a scary situation.
So she talks about Elvis. Oops, hang on. I'm just pausing it. That's it now, guys. But she goes on to talk about how Elvis really helped her get to her grandfather's funeral. Yeah, what I was trying to say to Vincenzo is I don't believe that I've ever heard Dave Hebler say he was sorry for writing the book, ever. Vincenzo say that he told him. Vincenzo, did he tell you on a private message, or did you see it in an interview? Because I'd like to see that, because I like to back things up with proof. Now, Larry Geller, I've actually spoke to Larry Geller on a message before, on Messenger. I'm a big fan of Larry Geller. Big fan of Larry Geller. Obviously a very spiritual man. He helped introduce Elvis to spiritual beliefs, spiritual teachings. He's never trashed Elvis. Like Charlie Hodge, even Joe Esposito, you know, there's certain people that haven't got carried away trashing Elvis. So I'm definitely a fan of Larry Geller. So that's it really, guys. I personally don't think Dave Hebler's ever going to climb down off his pedestal and admit wrongdoing. But I think he'll always make excuses, which is a shame, guys, because he's an elder man now, isn't he? And he's done a few interviews recently. He did one on Stefan's show, Artist on Record, as well. I just wish that I wish Dave Hebler would just say he was sorry and show regret. You don't write a book about your friend. You don't write a book about someone that was so good to you. So I would love it if Dave just said sorry. I don't hate Dave. He's an elderly man. He's had 40 years of hate. I wouldn't wish that on anyone, even if they've made mistakes. I don't wish hate on people. I don't hate Dave Hebler. If I had a chat with Dave Hebler, I would say to him, please say sorry. Show regret. Come on, mate. The fans want you to. The fans would love you to show regret. It's like Red West. I've never heard Red West say sorry, which is a shame, because I liked Red West. I liked his personality. He's a strong guy. He stood up for Elvis. A shame that he never really showed proper regret. A few people have told me that Sonny West did show regret. I haven't seen that yet. So come on, guys. Everyone deserves a chance. I really believe if people say sorry and show regret, doesn't matter what they've done in the past, we got to cut them a break. Elvis would want us to forgive. Elvis is a forgiving man. I really believe Elvis would want us to forgive. So what do you think, guys? Do you think Elvis would want us to forgive? I just think that's his natural way. I'm just reading your comment. So Tony's going in 34 days. I think it was 3 years, Michelle. 2 to 3 years. It wasn't that long. Obviously, Red West, Sonny West was completely different. That was decades. So it was a private message. It's a shame you don't have a screenshot of it, Vincenzo. I think I've said enough. He's actually on my friends on my Facebook. He's never messaged me, but he's on my friends. Sonny says he regrets it in his latest book. Oh, I see. So it was in the book. Right, Emma, thank you. I wonder where it came from, but I'm still sure. I do believe Sonny regrets it. EP stationed at Fort Hood, Texas, when first introduced in the Army. Billy and Joe should know who's in the photo, but it was a long time ago, and they're old like me. Larry, you're not old. You're ageless, my friend. You're an ageless James Bond. Do you know what I saw? Larry, should I tell you something funny? On one of the comments on my YouTube channel, someone said that you're Bob Joyce. Oh, that was so funny. Did you see that comment? Someone referred to you because you're a great singer, Larry. They referred to you as Bob Joyce. I found that's hilarious. I hope you're not offended by me saying that. It was on one of the comments. Yeah, I think Terry's going live tonight, guys. Elvis History. Please subscribe to him. So I was only jumping on for 20 minutes. It's gone on longer, which is good. I'm glad. I am going to carry on with this interview with Ginger Alden. I do want to play all of it. If I could, I would have gone on to Elvis Presley Long Lost Footage, our other channel, and finished it there. we're going to the beach. Yeah, Larry, you're better than Bob Joyce. Yeah, I thought it was around 3 years. That I think Dave Hebber's out of order. Seriously, I don't hate these people. I just, me, I'm passionate. I have strong views. I'm completely against that book was written, even though the book actually has some good stuff in it. There's actually some good stuff in this book. It isn't all bad. There's actually some very good bits in this book. It's a shame that they added in the bad bits, because I always say this: these people that have written bad books, if they just kept the books nice and respectful and honoured their friendship and love for Elvis, they could have left out all the bullshit, all the garbage, and the book still would have been bestsellers. That Elvis What Happened book, if they'd left out the trash, would still have been a bestseller, obviously with a different title. And I would say even this book, if they left out the trash, would have been a good book and would have done well. And 30 years later, people wouldn't be upset with these people for writing that book. So it's difficult, guys. It's difficult being an Elvis defender. Yeah, we'll go. It's perfect weather. It's getting quite late. It's 4:30 p.m. I got my trunks on. Shall I show you guys? I got my trunks on. Yeah, because we're going swimming. So we're going to be in the sea. It's very hot. It is literally like being in Spain. Have you ever been to Spain? So we're going in the sea, guys. It's happening. I'll be swimming tonight. Yeah, we love Larry. Billy Stanley stopped Elvis. He wanted to kill Rudd. Yeah, I know. But come on, guys. Come on. Elvis had just lost his temper. Let's face it. He had just lost his temper. Elvis wouldn't hurt a fly. Let's face it. You can't. Well, Tony, you can't surf in my town. It's not those. It's not that kind of waves. You can at the other side of England. So if you go to the if you go to the southeast of England, you can surf there. Yeah. The bit I live in is a different sea, so it doesn't face France. It faces, is it the North Atlantic? I don't know. The sea we have, there's no surfing. You can put your, it isn't that kind of a beach. If it was, yes, I would. But Tony, Aurora does. Aurora is a surfer because she grew up going to those parts of England, the beaches. Aurora's a good surfer. She knows how to surf. Maybe Dave didn't bond with Elvis like Red and the rest. Well, yeah, he didn't really know him that well. But I do think Elvis admired Dave Hebler as a karate instructor. Yeah, obviously they spent time together at the dojo, didn't they? Elvis just said things in the moment. Yeah, and then he would get cross. He never meant anything. Yeah, once he calmed down, I agree, Emma. Bob is a good preacher. Yeah, I you know that me and Bob used to talk, and he told me himself that he was not Elvis. Bob Joyce told me himself. He spoke to me for about 6 months, but then he stopped talking to me because he was getting abuse. He would join our messenger. We had a Facebook messenger, yeah, on our Defending Elvis Facebook page, and he got abuse. He did, so he just stopped. He stopped talking to anybody. But when he did speak to me, he was very polite, very friendly. Always said he wasn't Elvis. So this is like 8 months ago, yeah. So I felt sorry for him because I felt that he got scared off. So that's just how I felt, guys. Yeah, Tony, Aurora's good at everything. She's like that. She's just good at everything. She's always been like that. It's part of the reason I fell for her. She's a gymnastic. She can do aerobics. She can do triples in the air. She can run along and do flips in the air. Even now at her age, she can still run. She's amazing. She's like, She's good at all sports. She's the fastest runner. She does weightlifting. You name it, she does it. She can play piano. She can tap dance. What else does she do? She can do ballet. She was very good at ballet. Obviously trampolining, gymnastics. She's just good at everything. And that's part of the reason I fell for her, because she was very impressive. Very impressive. I grew up in the best surfing areas in the UK and can't surf to save my life. So Emma, she likes Woolacombe. Woolacombe is where she grew up, yeah. All of her summers were spent in Woolacombe. Do you know Woolacombe? Obviously Devon side of England. Guys, we do have a lot of people. I don't know if you've noticed it. We have a lot of subscribers now. In the UK, we used to have mainly Americans. Now we've dropped. We're 40% Americans, 25% UK, and that number is growing. And then we have different all around the world. You know, we got quite a few in Australia. Vincenzo is in Italy. Yeah, so we are quite global now. Yeah, Canada, we've got quite a few in Canada. Oh, thanks, Emma. She gives me a hard time, mind. In a minute, she'll be home and she'll be like, have you got the sausages? Have you got the burgers? Have you bought the rolls? Is the camper ready? Did you do the washing up? I'm like, oh my God. So she does give me a hard time. Yeah, I will do, Vincenzo. Thank you. From the film Trouble with Girls. Hi, Teresa. Teresa, Nashville, Tennessee. Right, they're home. Gotta go. Right, guys, love to all of you. Thanks, Vincenzo, for all your advice. Thanks to all of you for joining me. I've really enjoyed this. Thanks, Tony, for your lovely gifts. Thanks to Team Elvis, you rock. Team Elvis taking care of business. Love you all, guys.